This is Gaming Through the Ages, and today we're taking a look at Master of Darkness for the Sega Master System. Master of Darkness is unabashedly a Castlevania clone, but don't let that turn you away, as the game has a lot going for it. You take the reins of Dr. Ferdinand Social as he embarks on a journey to Victorian London after receiving a message from his trusted Ouija board that there is a vampire on the loose killing innocent people. After Dr. Social's journey leads him into a confrontation with Jack the Ripper, he begins to encounter stranger characters and the occult, which starts him down a path towards Transylvania. The story is told through cutscenes before each stage and is brief but very enjoyable, especially for an 8-bit game. Let's open up with the gameplay and discuss the similarities and differences between Master of Darkness and Castlevania. Masks litter the level and drop items when struck, effectively making them the candles of the game. The main weapon is a dagger to begin with, but Dr. Social quickly finds other weapons to pick up which differ both in range and attack power. For instance, the saber has great range, but is much weaker than an axe, which is a very close range weapon. Any weapon the player picks up replaces the previous one, and all weapons can be found regularly throughout the game, so avoiding picking up the dagger becomes routine. There are also several sub-weapons found throughout the game. However, unlike Castlevania, they do not require ammunition. What you pick up is what you have available until you run out or replace the sub-weapon by picking up a different one. They are utilized the same as Castlevania, however, by pressing up and attack. The sub-weapons are not usually that useful outside of boss fights, but the stake sub-weapon can obliterate later bosses. There are also health potions and extra lives hidden throughout levels, both in masks and found by breaking wall tiles. Control is virtually identical to Castlevania with some exceptions. Namely, it's more difficult to latch onto stairs, as the player needs to be holding up or down when approaching the stairs to successfully climb. That being said, control is generally fluid, as Dr. Social can jump off stairs mid-climb, can duck and attack, can attack in the air, and can change direction in the air with ease. Knockback is also present, but very minor, so it's unlikely to result in pit deaths unless very close to an edge. Additionally, Dr. Social will always fall through a pit into the screen below if there is one, making pitfalls very forgiving most of the time. The game takes place over 5 levels, each of which is divided into 3 fairly long subsections, which refill the player's health upon completion. There is a timer counting down for each subsection, but only in stage 5-1, which is a small labyrinth, did the timer approach 0. The game had a moderate difficulty level, with 5 bosses increasing in difficulty as the game progressed, and stage difficulty progression maintained an upward curve throughout. Master of Darkness is definitely easier than Castlevania, in no small part thanks to the frequency of health and extra life pickups, but has some very annoying enemy patterns which were more frustrating than fun at times. That especially holds true for these owls. The enemy variety also starts to stagnate towards the end, but there are a lot of atmospherically fitting creatures and levels throughout the entire game. The staples are here, such as ghosts, bats, spooky forests, and cemeteries, but the game also features some rarer horror locales, such as a house of wax. The graphics are great and really show off the Master System's abilities with nice sprites, a good color palette, and superb atmosphere. The detail really sells the gothic atmosphere Master of Darkness exudes. Additionally, the music and sound design, while nowhere near the level of Castlevania's music, are still very good and help immerse the player into the game. Overall, Master of Darkness is a Castlevania clone through and through, but it's the best classic Castlevania clone I've ever played, and in my opinion, one of the absolute best games the Sega Master System has to offer.